So today is day 31 of the 31st ride day, and I'm in Lansing, Iowa. I'm riding along the banks of the Mississippi for I think another 30 miles or so. I don't know. It's been quite a wild trip yesterday, so you'll see from yesterday's video that it was a little bit of a hard day. It was headwind, it was really hot, and I had some routing problems. The path that the route took me on had some issues in a couple different places, so I ended up kind of charting my own path. It took a little bit longer, a little bit further, but I made it. Lansing is a nice little town, but when I got to the neat little hotel that I stayed in, or motel, turned on the laptop, the screen didn't work, and so that means that when you see this video, it'll probably be maybe up to four or 5 days late. So I'm not going to tell you the real story, what happened to the laptop, because it would sound really stupid of me to have a glass of water on the nightstand and oh, I got to show you this real quick and I'll tell you my story. Look at that over there. Sun's starting to poke through the fog. That's the Mississippi. Okay, back to my story. I'm going to tell you that I had a glass of water on the nightstand, and that in the night I reached to get a drink and tipped it over, and it tipped over on by the laptop. I didn't think I got that much water on it, but I must have, and I didn't realize it till I got to the hotel last night and turned on the laptop, and it seems to boot up. I can hear the boot up noise, but the screen doesn't work. I've tried everything and I think it's ruined. But the story that I'll tell on this video is that the panniers leaked in the rain yesterday, and it got on my laptop and ruined it. I don't want to sound like an idiot who has water next to their laptop. But after feeling very discouraged that I wouldn't be able to get videos out, I was able to order a new laptop from Best Buy in Dubuque, and now I just need to figure out the way to pick it up, either go off course some and ride there, or maybe my friend Doug knows some people that live there, and I may be able to hopefully pay one of them to drive it out, maybe a 30-minute drive, and drop it off to me. So that's the hope. I'm off on the ride today. Let me get a picture of this. It's really pretty. As you saw, I've got my jacket on, but it's already hot, so I think I'll take my jacket off and get started on the ride. Boy, this is really pretty on this side right now. Okay, hopefully you can see that. I like it a lot. So I've had almost 3 major climbs to get to the top of this hill. It goes down and then up another, I don't know, 500 feet. And so about 2,000 vertical feet, just in a short distance. So it's been a pretty good pull. I hope to get out of this fog pretty soon. Hopefully people can see me. So I've climbed up out of some really up some steep hills from the river, from riding along the river, and now I'm up on top of here in some beautiful farmland, but it's still quite hilly. It was funny down, oh, I can't remember the name of that town. Before I headed up out of the river, I stopped at a little store. I've got a bunch of grit in my derailleur again and tried to wash it out without a lot of success. I need to get to a car wash again. And I was talking to the lady there and trying to help understand where I was going. And she said, why are you going that direction? It's really, really hilly. And I said, well, I'm on a bike. And she said, oh yeah, the other way you'd get killed. So I guess it's a good direction to go. Sure is pretty up here. I think I'm on kind of rolling hills, and then I drop back down. Not sure if I drop back down to the river again, maybe. But I kind of went north, and I'm heading west into Iowa, and then I'll start dropping south again. But pretty so far. Today everything was going great on the ride. I was feeling good, but I did notice kind of a funny sound in the bike, and I think I mentioned earlier in this video that I thought it was some sand and grit in the derailleur, but just not long after the video that you just watched, probably only a couple hundred more yards, I was riding along, and all of a sudden the rear wheel just seized. The chain came off the derailleur, and it was because it turns out that the free hub on the back wheel was totally broken, and just the bearings were ruined in there, and it was all broken apart. And if I can find it, I'll put a picture on here, but I just had to pull over to the side of the road and took the wheel off and was trying to find it and fixed it. And I called Doug Ensign to get some of his thoughts and advice. He knows a lot about bikes, but it pretty much determined that I was in trouble and kind of out in the middle of the nowhere. And I talked on the last video about how today I was planning on staying at a Warm Showers host house, and so I thought I would give them a call to let them know that I wouldn't be able to make it. And what I was doing right at that time is I was trying to figure out if I could get an Uber in the Dubuque, Iowa, to come out to me. And it's probably about 40 or 50 miles. And I knew that would be difficult, but that's the only option I had. But when I called Ross and Sonny at the Warm Showers family, he said, I'll come get you. You know, I couldn't believe it. Just the kindness that they showed was just amazing. He drove all the way out, probably 40, 50 miles from where he was at, where I was headed, and drove out, picked me up, and then drove me into Dubuque. And he had somebody that he knew at a bike shop there, and he took a look at it and said that he could fix the bike, that it was really
said he's never seen anything like that, so not really sure exactly what caused the problem, but he um, ordered a new free hub from Zip, and it will come in tomorrow sometime, and um, then um, Ross also took me to Best Buy so that I could get my new laptop, and then drove me again all the way back out another 40 or so miles to where he and Sonny have a place out here, and it's just an amazing farm, amazing place, and they both were so kind. They fed me dinner at Sonny's parents' house, and I'm staying in a really nice room that they have, and so it's kind of that part was so neat to be able to have happen, and I'm so appreciative of them. They were so kind. Um, it is very discouraging though about what I'm going to do with the ride, so I've been trying to figure that out, and I don't think I'll have any way of getting back to the start unless I ride it, which will add a substantial amount of mileage to what I normally would do, or I can kind of cut across, and it'll take me about 25 miles to kind of get back on course. I will miss a little part um, that I would have made, that I would have done, but the mileage will kind of all come out in the end. But it's about the only thing that I can think of to somewhat keep on course and to be able to find places to stay and stuff like that. So that's my plan, is to go into Dubuque with Ross sometime in the morning, and then hopefully be able to head out on the ride around 1 o'clock to be able to ride about anywhere from 50 to 70 miles, depending upon where I'm going to be able to stay tomorrow night. It's kind of the worst thing that could possibly happen on the ride, to have the bike go out like that. Well, it's not the worst possible thing. There are a lot worse things. But it wasn't a fun thing, and kind of has me a little bit discouraged, but I'll work through that, and that's kind of what's going on. But you can see uh, the day mileage, and then the map of what I did ride today before the bike went all in the pooper.